How's everyone doing? Today we're going to start with this lesson, which is the only way that you will improve your speaking. So, did you know that there's only one way to become a fluent English speaker? First of all, we will stop using the word fluent and replace it with confident. Your goal should be feeling confident when you speak, because confidence is something you can feel and even measure. Do your words come out naturally and automatically? You must stop using your native language for learning and stop thinking about translating English into your first language. Every time you want to express something, there is no method with which you will express your exact thoughts spontaneously without any effort on your part. You want to be able to understand everything you hear in English movies, TV shows, music, and conversations. And finally, speak confidently without feeling nervous or worried about mistakes, with the smooth pronunciation of a native speaker. What is, I got something to add up. You must make sure that you understand 70%, at least 70% of the content you consume or watch. You must begin with the basics. This one easy change in the way you learn will help you experience immediate improvement in your spoken English. The biggest problem with English learners is that they always think about grammar rules to use before speaking, right? Does this happen to you? Do you start thinking about grammar rules before you even speak or write or something in English? Sometimes. This is the number one thing you must change.
Yes.
You must change how you learn. In traditional language learning methods focus on learning grammar rules, but not how to use grammar without thinking when we speak. When you speak, students learn English through their own language. They hesitate and translate in their heads during conversations. They learn to read and write the formal English of textbooks, but get very little training listening to and speaking casual, conversational, spoken English.
Manny,
Yes,
what is hesitate?
yes, I'm glad you asked. This means
Mm-hmm.
this means not
Yes.
act
Uh,
immediately.
this mean. This mean. Int. Okay. Okay.
This
Mm-hmm.
means
This.
um okay, yes, not act immediately, efficiently.
Like those?
Yes, this means like lag. No, how can I say this? Struggle. Struggle is a good word. Struggle. Have you heard struggle? It
No,
means to,
I don't know.
another word to have problem with, have problems
Um,
or issues
okay.
with. You have issues with translating in your head, so it becomes a vicious circle. You cannot translate in your head, so you feel less confident. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
It becomes a vicious circle of not being able not being able to translate directly to your native language, right? And language, and this makes you feel less confident. And when you feel less confident, you become less fluent in the language. They learn to read and write the formal English of textbooks, vocabulary training. Okay, we went over that. Listening to and speaking casual, conversational, spoken English. There is no way around this. You must learn English like native speakers. Fluency is nothing more than a collection of habits, like using grammar without thinking or pronouncing words correctly. So all you need to do to develop the same habits native speakers have is to learn the same way native speakers learn. When you learn English like native speakers, you master grammar automatically, without grammar tables and boring drills, through visual examples and stories. Building fluency like a native speaker means you also learn slang, idioms, phrasal verbs, which we will talk about these topics in future lessons, and other conversational, spoken English expressions, in addition to what's appropriate for writing. Learning English the native way means you learn to speak fluent English naturally, actually practicing with native English speakers, and building speaking confidence in the real world. So, like how you're doing right now, listening to me, when you learn this way, it's easy, fun, fast, and it doesn't feel like studying at all. Just like how you learn your own native language. You did not need to study your mother tongue in order to learn it, correct? So the same way with English, you don't need to study English. Well, you know, like in a classroom to learn it. Now that you know that, you must change the way you learn if you want to get fluent, because the traditional methods you've been using until now have not helped you become a confident speaker. How can you start developing the habits of a native English speaker so that you can start speaking fluent English confidently? Improve your pronunciation and sound like a native speaker. Develop the habit of speaking and responding spontaneously in real situations. Overcome shyness. Meet native English speakers online and in the real world to practice speaking with and building speaking confidence. Here are some tips. Here are some tips if you want to better your speaking by yourself. This means without the help of another English speaker. Number one, use sticky notes on objects around your house. For example, hold on a minute. Sticky notes. Okay, I'm back. These are sticky notes. So, for example, I would grab one. I will write down on one. I'm gonna write down uh, microphone. Microphone. It records my vocals. My vocals. Okay. So right here, have the sticky note. It says microphone. It records my vocals, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna stick it on my microphone. For example, I don't know, somewhere right here. And then I have to look at it every time I look at my microphone. The other, right? Have to look at it. The other tip is to record yourself. Evaluate your own speaking with the use of technology. Use a recording app. Use a recording app or speech recognition on your devices. Another one, like I mentioned yesterday, configure your environment to your environment, meaning your devices, technology, to English, like your cell phone, for example, cell phone, laptop, TV, um, movies, music, your environment, which means devices, technology that play music, shows, configure to English. And which is leads to the next one. Watch cartoons and contents for kids who speak very simple English. Like watch cartoons for kids that are 5 years, for kids that are 5 years old. 5-year-old kid show, right? You have to go back to um, as you have to pretend you don't know your know a language. You don't know your native language. You have to pretend that you don't know how to speak anything. listen to music and use simple vocabulary. They use a simple vocabulary like I mentioned before. So this one I don't need I need to delete it because I already mentioned it. And that's it. We're done with today's lesson. Do you have anything to any comments?
Mm,
Maybe we can have a conversation direct with you in some class later to improve our fluently.
Yes, of course. Um, we can do that. We can have a context in a situation in which we must employ a
¿Qué
type
son?
of vocabulary.
Sonar.
Hmm.
Sí.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. We can decide on that. So
Pero
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.